Hello guys! Today we are going to talk about spider plant, also known as Chlorophytum Comosum, which is one of the easiest to care for houseplants and one of the most popular houseplants. In this video we are going to talk about light requirements, water requirements, how to water, temperature, humidity, flowering, if you have some problems if your plant is not flowering, when to fertilize it, when to report it, soil requirement, propagation, toxicity, and pruning. So stay with me and let's see how to care about the spider plant, and please subscribe because I'm going to make more interesting videos. When it comes to light, spider plants need indirect sunlight. Give it too much and the beautiful white sticks on the leaves will fade to green. Give it too little and the leaves will turn yellow and will start to drop. The spider plants will accept a darker location, although growth will be much slower. Best location in your home is north window or close to east-west facing window, or some distance away from a south facing window. Here is a tip. If you can place your spider plant in a place where they get in direct contact with the sun in the morning or in the evening, that would be just perfect. Normally you should water your spider plant about once a week. Before watering, check the soil of the plant to see if it's dry. If it is still moist, you should wait another day and repeat this until the soil is dry. So you just need to put your finger inside about 1 centimeter. If you feel it's dry, then you can water it. If it's not, you just wait a few days. The plant might be thirsty, but it does like the soil to dry out every once in a while. It is important to check the soil to avoid overwatering. If you overwater it once is not a problem. The spider plant recovers very quickly, but doing this consistently will kill it. When it comes to what kind of water, you need to use distilled water. Okay. Now there are few symptoms of overwatering and underwatering. So let's start first with the overwatering. If you accidentally water your spider plant too much, the plant will tell you quickly. Your spider plant will show a few symptoms. These symptoms of overwatering are quite simple. The leaves will start to turn brown and die slowly. If you see this happening, stop watering, let the soil dry out and then water again. The plant should pick up where it left off within a few days. It usually recovers really well. Now, the symptoms of underwatering your spider plant: when you let the soil dry out, make sure the plant isn't days without water. When your spider plant doesn't get enough water, its leaves will start to fade to a lighter color. Normally, the leaves are deep green, but when your plant doesn't get enough hydration, its leaves will get lighter. This makes it very easy to spot if your plants need some water. Now let's talk about temperature and humidity. Maintain average room temperature and humidity. Spider plants prefer temperature between 13 and 27 Celsius, which makes them a great indoor house plant. For the humidity, just keep it between 40 and 60 relative humidity. Now let's talk about flowering. Spider plants do occasionally develop small white flowers at the end of their long arching stems. Here are small babies. Many times these flowers are so short-lived they go completely unnoticed. Flowers on spider plant can grow in a cluster or can be single depending on the variety of the spider plant. Spider plant flowers are very small and white with 3-6 petals. Here you can see here is one and here is second. The third is developing. In another video we will show how to correctly propagate it. Well, sometimes spider plants will send out flowers as a young plants, but then never flower again as the plant matures. However, if your spider plant is not seeding out flowers, it could be due to too much sunlight or not enough sunlight, too much fertilization, and most spider plants won't flower until they are mature and slightly pot bound. Fertilizing a spider plant must be done in moderation. Fertilizer for spider plants should be applied sparingly, as over-fertilization will result in brown leaf tips just as chemically laden water. There is no specific spider plant fertilizer. Any of all-purpose fertilizers is suitable for houseplant is accessible. How many times you should feed your spider plants during the growing season? Well, some sources say once a week, while others say every 2 to 4 weeks. The common trend seems to be that over-fertilizing will cause more damage than underfeeding. I would go for every month with a liquid fertilizer. If the tips of the spider plant begin to brown, I would back off the amount of the fertilizer by half of the manufacturer's recommended amount. Remember that the brown tips may also be caused by chemical-laden water, drafts, or temperature fluxes, and etc. When to repot? Sometimes it's good to repot, but how can you tell when? Here is the easiest method. If after a watering of a potted plant dries out sufficiently that it needs water again in less than 3 days, then it's okay to move your plant into a pot one size larger. Simple. You don't even have to take a plant out of its pot to inspect the roots. If you notice your plant needs water every 2 or 3 days, then it may be ready for more soil without the risk of rooting the roots. How to repot I will discuss in separate video where I'm going to move it in a bigger pot. Soil requirements. Making your own basic potting mix is not hard to do. In fact, it's kind of fun. The recipe for standard potting mix is simple. 3 or 4 parts of peat moss mixed with 1 part of perlite. Mix these ingredients together with some time released fertilizer and a spoonful of horticulture lime. This will give you a clean, porous, moisture-retaining, nutrient-filled potting soil. If you can find a core or coconut husk when added to the potting mix, it will further enhance the desirable qualities of the potting mix. Propagating a spider plant is very easy. You can propagate it in a soil or in a water. The easiest way is, let's see, you will need just here, you see the knot, you just cut it here, and when you cut it, you'll have a small spider plant, and you just put it in water, or you just put it in a potting soil mix, and just be patient to wait while the roots developed. If you put it in water, when the roots are developed, you just put them back in the soil. I will, as I said, I will make a separate video of how to propagate this plant. And the last topic for today is toxicity. Fortunately, spider plants are not poisonous or toxic according to a lot of different sources, so they're not toxic to cats and dogs, so it's completely safe. And that's all for this video. I'll be making another video how to propagate plants. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe for more.